Morning. Very, very nearly afternoon. Hello, Annaline. Oh, don't know what it is when it's 12. Hello, Julie. Hello, Carol. I'm pleased to see you've managed to get on all right today. Hello, Emma. Oh, Emma, I was wondering if you might like some hats. Hello, Barbara. My eyes just cracked open. Hello, Maria. Hello, Heather. I keep thinking I should give you, oh, hello, Charles. Hello, Val. Keep thinking I should give you the, what do you call that thing, that orchid that lives in the bathroom and just has got loads of things coming out of it, like long, white, rooty things. We've had it for about a year and a half and it just won't die. Not that I think death to all orchids, but it is a bit odd, freaky. Hello, Alex. Hello, Samantha Luton Hughes. Hello, Anne Davison. Quite a few small paintings here, which are perfect for doing these with. Hello, Sarah. I think it's aerial roots. I thought they might be. Sarah, I think it's time you did some more painting. Yes, what to do? So this is where we're at with the cockerel painting. And I'm very much thinking about filling this area between the dangly down leaves and the foreground leaves with something blue to contrast with the lovely orange. There's that. I think this is pretty nearly finished. Maybe might just do a tiny bit of more darkness just above the eyes. I think that's pretty nearly done. A little bit of work to do on this one. Obviously I've done a bit more yesterday, trying to work out how to yeah. And then this is the one we finished off with yesterday, and I was just, hello John, hello Ken. Yeah, I was just doing these sort of rushy type leaves behind. So we've got the legs and then the fun bit to do on the body of this pheasant. It's such a gloomy day, unlike yesterday, but I'm very glad that I did what I did yesterday because, hello Jane, so yesterday my swim friend and I met for a socially distanced swim, hello Count Kasky, and we took our axes because it was an ice covered pool just near here, and it was just very, very good fun smashing through the ice. But really you'd have to work for ages and ages and ages to cut yourself like a channel to swim in, and probably by the time we would have cut enough ice to swim through, it would have melted anyway. And today it's just horrible and drizzly, so I'm really glad we did it yesterday. And that was very good fun. Right, I think maybe press on here. Got my glasses. I know that we're here. Hello Louise. So looking at this, I think I will put the legs on and a bit of detail on the feathers, which is really good fun. Let's make sure my phone's turned off or on quiet. Yeah. Right. So Callum Caskey, Callum lives right up the Coquet Valley, so he's probably in about 8 foot of snowdrifts still. Jan, very nice snow photographs yesterday. Hello Neil, how are you? Right. Going to tip you up and make a start. So she, oh, it's not wanting to. Just get you a little bit closer. That's quite good. I can actually see the painting and I can see what's being said. Perfect. Right, so I'll get myself quite a narrow brush to do the legs, which are a bit of a nondescript colour on a pheasant. Oh, got into watching YouTube videos of Everest ascents, which is a subject I'm quite interested in. I've read quite a lot of climbing books, and so seeing as I can't always work the telly properly, we can just watch YouTube videos, which is very good fun. Right, I'm just going to do some sort of like markings on these wing feathers here. I put the horse out this morning. There's a sort of dome of ice on the concrete, just in front of the stable. And I just thought, you know, in days gone by, I'd have just left them in because I'd be so scared that they fell and broke their legs. But do you know what? This little horse is quite good, and I just thought, well, he's got 4 legs, and he's really, really good. He just went over this dome of wet ice, and we managed to get. I was just thinking, because I can see him from here. It's very difficult, isn't it, when it's icy with animals? Tracy, you'll know what I mean about ice and horses. Yeah, that's what I'm sort of thinking about. So the really fun bit is putting, because a pheasant's feather, which I haven't got to hand, they've got, they all have, where are we? Black, where are you? Payne's grey. They all have a, they've got a sort of bar across them, like that. So if you imagine that's part of the feather there, they've got bars across the feather. There's another example. And so it's one of those sort of defining features. So I find myself, actually, I'm going to do something before I do that. I'm going to sort of split these tail feathers, because a feather is obviously 2 halves with a sort of rib up the middle. And so these tail feathers, I think I'd quite like to have a slightly darker bit. So I'm going to get myself a brush and do that. I'll just turn it upside down because I'd like there to be a slightly darker bit here. And it'll make sense when I come to do the black detail. I'm just going to do something to this while I'm here. I just feel that we need a okay. While I'm waiting for that to dry, I can move on because I started another small pheasant painting, which just needs a bit more doing to it. It's the same thing, just a big brush, just did a very simple shape of the body and then the feathers, but the wings are a slightly different colour, so I will put them in now. There's sometimes pheasants are all different colours. If you look at them, there are loads of different types of loads and loads of different sort of types of pheasant with different colourings. So even if you made something up, you wouldn't be going too far wrong. I just get a little bit of blue out of the lid of my Ludlow paint. Oh yes, I painted this one because do you remember on this one I made this sort of schoolgirl error of starting it far too far down in the strip of paper. So this one was started higher up, so much more sensible. But the head's not quite big enough, but I can do something about that at this stage. I mean, it doesn't matter that it isn't, you know, exactly in proportion, but as I say, at this stage, that can be altered. Oops, there's a drip just about to come off the end of the brush there. So I think 5 feet is on the computer. Starting to look at seed catalogues. Is that right, 5 feet?
I'm just checking out the hedge.
The hedge. Oh, right. Somebody sent us a photograph of a hedge. And I think it's just a privet hedge. What do you think it is, 5?
I think it is as well. Chinese privet.
There used to be loads and loads and loads of privet hedges. And when I used to walk to school, I used to pull the leaves off. So I've managed to just make the head a bit bigger there, and it's not, it's not noticeable that that it was too small. Where are you going?
The bucket.
A bucket? What for?
Fire.
Oh, right, thanks. Yeah, he's going to clean the ash out of the wood burner here. This is the one I was using, which is the brush I was using to do the leg. Yeah. All right. I think I'll just do the same thing to this tail, or shall I? No, maybe not. See if I can get the beak on. Right. Now then, this brush here is particularly good usually for the next stage. Which I'll probably stand up for, I think. Oops, just managed to splash some water there. I might just have a little practice because I'm going to do the sort of the bar on the brings it to life. I think it does anyway. Oops.
Is it on?
No, you're all right, thank you. So when you do these like these little black markings, it's a bit of a sort of, don't take your time over it, just go bum 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 bum. Otherwise, you make a mistake. You're really just using it to sort of create the roundness of the shape. And then the eye. Seems to be a lot of red paint on this brush. Just use my mini kitchen roll. Fivey, what are you looking for?
Screwdriver.
Left hand side, third drawer down.
2 perfect screwdrivers.
Oh, right.
No good.
What sort of screwdriver do you... Oh, right, for that.
No one can down again.
So quite distracting having Fivey bashing away in the background. Where's that nice brush? Here. Oop. Looks like I might be going for a walk later on. Not sure. Now then, these feathers that hang over the tail here, they're a slightly glossier, slightly darker colour than the rest on most of the pheasants, you see. So I'll try and mix up something for that. Ooh, that's a little bit. Yeah, I think that might be about like it. And I've swapped over to this ancient old sort of Chinesey brush, probably doing calligraphy with. Just give the door a jolly good slamming there, Fivey. Don't know why I can't just shut the door quietly. I think that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, this is it's a sort of funny looking brush. It's all chewed at the end, really. It's nothing like it was when it was new. it's quite hairy. But if you twist it until you get the one hair that you want, looks like the whole ferrule or whatever it is. I'm just going to turn it upside down so that I can use my wrist in the right direction that's comfortable for me. Yeah, I think that's sort of okay-ish. So tempting to keep going with these lovely tail feathery bits. Like that. I'm just going to tip you up. I've had my work today. Hello Stuart Granger, painting the walls here. Not so much fun. I love painting walls. I'm just going to see if anything's been said or any questions. I think it's time some of you got back to doing your own painting. There's a few stalwarts there like Maria Cooper and Louise. Hello Ross. But a lot of you seem to have just put your brushes down. This lockdown could go on forever. Well, not ever, but you know. Right, so it's really, really simple, this, doing something like this, and quite effective. I'm glad I made the head a little bit bigger. So I have to do the bar effect on the feathers for this one, but I think I might do a little bit of foreground first. What time is it anyway? I love the first 5 minutes of wall painting. Well, the thing about painting a house, thank you very much, Sarah. The thing about painting a house, as you all know, is it's like 95% preparation, like emptying the room, cleaning everywhere, washing the walls down, and then doing I don't know if you're going to do the skirting boards and all the windows and everything. The actual painting takes no time at all. I was extremely lucky that I had a guy here, we just called him Sharky, and he taught me how to paint, and he was a professional painter and decorator of big things like factories, and he was just an absolute expert. And what he did, and this is a top tip, and I've always used it, he did like the corners and oh my word, speaking of paintwork, like he would do the corners, I can't remember what you call it, like not cutting in but all the way around the edges, and then the main areas like the ceiling or the walls that needed painting, he had like a big fluffy roller, and he would have it on a long stick. Everything was done on an extension pole, and the very first coat was always diluted. So the very first coat of emulsion, he always mixed with water, like with an egg whisk in a bucket, and then he would tip it onto he had a great big board, like a big piece of plywood. He would tip it onto there, and then with his roller on an extension pole, back and forth, and he'd do the first coat with this dilute emulsion. and then before it was completely dry, he would swap over to the full strength paint, pour that onto his board, and then he said that the slightly damp first layer stuck to the more viscous second layer, and he put that on and it was really, really good. And he also said that you use a really expensive undercoat, but any old cheap gloss over the top. The undercoat was the most important thing. And he always used trade quality emulsion. There you go. I love Mr. Bean's technique with dynamite and a tin of paint. Jen, yes, put them on the lockdown, gang. So there you go. Now then, working on the principle that I mentioned the other day, where the foreground, where a warm colour in the foreground creates a sense of presence and closeness, and blues and cold colours in the distance creates a sense of distance. So working on that principle, I'm going to get myself a sort of earth coloured foreground. I don't want it to be too similar to the colour of the pheasant though. So she making it too similar to the colour of the pheasant. Make that leg a little bit thinner at this stage, which is really what I wanted. I wanted the pheasant's legs just to be a little bit finer, and I've been able to sort that out there, which is good. Right, I'm going to deepen. Where are we? I'm going to make some really dark shadows between these rushes behind, if I can find my brush. Bloody hell. Here we are. Do the naughty thing, which you're not supposed to do, and put my brush straight in here, because it's just so intensely pigment rich, but I'm quite near the end of it, so let's see how this might work. Scrap of paper somewhere. It's a little bit blue. I'll just add some of that earth colour I made. Yeah, I think that's quite what I'm looking for. Maybe a little bit more blue. I'm looking for a colour to fill in these gaps. Yeah, that's the sort of thing. It's quite nice because it's very similar to the head of the pheasant, which works because the whole idea, to my mind, is that the pheasant is made to be camouflaged. So we've got colours here that work quite well with the body, and then we've got colours in the background that work quite well with other parts of the pheasant's body. So it sort of tells a story as well about survival. It's going to be quite fiddly down here, working round those tail feathers, but doable. Yeah. Oh, sorry, folks. Just dip off to get some TNT. Yeah, well, I think that would only work if you'd masked. Oh, look, sheep, look. It would only work if you'd sort of masked off everything that you didn't want to be covered in exploding paint. So just have a little. Yeah, it's quite nice. It's sort of working into its background. But the fun bit will be finding a slightly better brush than the one I used for that one, and putting the bar effect on the feathers. I maybe ought to go online and do a little bit of brush shopping, because although I have got tons and tons and tons of brushes, they're all old and none of them have got like that just really clean, sharp edge for that particular job. However, that one might be okay. Worth a try. Sure it'll work. Mr. Bean masked everything off. There you are. I see Wendy Rowell has understands about these things. So I think we'll leave it there for today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of Sunday. And I think I'm just here on my own tomorrow. Oh, those sheep are just so beautiful. It's and the wind is blowing the fleece from. I wonder if I can show you the one which is sideways on has got the wind blowing its fleece from the west forwards, so it's quite fun. It's like, I wonder if I could do that. Persuade it to stand still for the next half hour or so. And of course they're all pregnant now, so they're beginning to fill out. Right, well, it has been lovely spending time with you, and yeah, have a lovely Sunday. I'm not sure about swimming in the river. I haven't. My swimming friend, who I have these socially distanced swims with and ice chopping up sessions, she might have stuff to do today. Anyway, bye for now.